a hey, a hey, a hey, a hey, a hey, a hey, 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 a hey, a hey, a hey, a hey. Ooh, ooh,
Breathe. Hey guys, welcome to Tim Talks. It's
ooh,
a strange thing to be. I've been told I have 52 followers. Wow. I've heard some people have millions. I'm hoping there's enough interest in nature that we can get more, and this becomes relevant for people. It's a strange thing to talk into a camera like this. That's not how I was raised or thought things are. But here we are on this COVID thing going on. My school is closed down for the year, and I want to get the word out. I want people to take on being Earth caretakers. I think it's one of the only hopes we have for the future of humans and our Earth together. And I do have hope, but there's days when my hope gets low. But then I take a walk in the woods and it's high. I have great faith that ultimately the purpose of the human being is to be an Earth caretaker, and that we're going to find it and we're going to own it and we're going to tend to our Earth. So the thing that these talks are about partially is, in order to tend to the Earth, to care for the Earth as an Earth caretaker, we have to build our relationship up with the Earth. And so many of us, we get up in the day and we don't. The Mother Earth, is not on our mind. She's just not on our mind. We don't think outside ourselves, our egocentric selves, and think, oh, this ball we're on, the Earth, is moving in space and it's full of trees and water and rock and zillions of living beings. It doesn't enter our mind much. Even those of us that love nature, sometimes it doesn't enter our mind. And that's something that has to change. It has to be in the background of our brains, in the foreground, that we are on a living Earth, and we have to express our thankfulness for the Earth, our gratitude. I think that's a key word, is gratitude, through the way we interact with the planet. And that is interacting in an honorable way that says, I love you, I respect you, Earth, I care about you, I know what you are to me, and I want to be that in a small part to you. Um, it's basic, guys. It's basic. It's not complicated. But the more we've moved into cities, the more we've gotten modern devices to live our life by, the more we take ourselves away from the Earth. I recently read a study that said that 92% of all people rarely, if ever, interact with the Earth, and mostly live in cities. There's just no interaction whatsoever. That is shocking to me. If you go back in time to our Native American ancestors or our ancestors all over the world, every second of every day was the exact opposite of that. And it's going to take work to bring it back, but hey, we have no choice. We either get this thing right, or Mother Earth's going to kick us off like fleas on a dog. And I don't think that's what we want. So that's just kind of a little introduction, a continued remembering of why we're doing these talks. Love of the Earth, love of place, a sense of place, a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose. To know a place is to be that place, to go deeply into that place. That place is our planet. Take it on a smaller level. We've talked about you picking sit spots and so forth. I have this land here. The original land is 32 acres of absolute heaven on earth, water, trees. I am the earth caretaker here. It is my home. And every single thing that lives here I care about. I have a sense of place. A sense of place. When I'm here, I know I belong. I know I matter. I know that every other being matters here. And when I say beings, I have to keep repeating this over and over for people to get it. Not just the warm and fuzzy animals, which of course, but the trees, the plants, the insects, the rocks, everything is living. The weather, the sun, the moon, it all interacts. The moon, it lights up the night. The stars light up the night. You ever heard the saying, you can't put out the light of a star? How's that go? The light of a star you cannot will shine no matter what. Your light will never disappear. When you go into the dark, the star will show you the way. That's just one of the magical things. The moon comes out, the stars get lighter, and you have the moon to look at. The moon sets and the sun rises. In the first warmth of the day, you imagine how that is. Oh, feel it. It warms you up. And you start your day and you look at the trees and the water and the plants and you hear the animals and the symphony of singing birds. We are earthlings. It is a sense of place. You have to feel that you belong. You have to take ownership in your life here on this earth. Many great nature writers have written on this subject, the idea of a sense of place, of being there. It's often what I've talked about in these Tim Talks is pilgrimaging. Finding places that feel extra special to you. They're like highlight places. Some may be far off in wildernesses or on mountaintops. Others might be around the corner or your own backyard. I live in probably the most important in my life, but I have hundreds others that I've found throughout my life as a wilderness seeker and a nature photographer. I just love knowing that all of those places are out there, and they've all shaped my life. They've all shaped my life. I've had experiences that have made me the person that I am, the man that I am, the human being that I am. The earth has created me, and that is part of understanding what it is to have a sense of place with our planet. Pilgrimage spots, places that call to you, smaller spots. So think about it, folks. Just take a minute. Take a minute and just stop and think. Close your eyes with me. And think about places you know that you could say you have a sense of place to. Places that feel right, that call you home, that are home. And just send some energy to those places. Think for a second. Keep your eyes closed. Think for a second how these places may have shaped you. Maybe you had peak experiences in these places. Maybe you had sacred experiences in these places. Maybe you had the best night's sleep of your life in these places, or the best nap ever, or you drank the greatest tasting water ever, or you saw the most magnificent animal do something in nature, and you were let in for the moment into its life. Maybe you saw an incredible tree and you climbed it. Now just picture all these places. Think of the colors, the shapes, and where they were. See if you can smell it with your nose. Feel it with your other senses, and slowly open your eyes. And now just hold the memory of those places in your brain and your being. And know that you are a human being that has been shaped by our planet. And that you are a work in progress and a magnificent work. And that you can allow the earth, if you let her do it, and all that she offers, continue to shape your life and fill you full of wonder and beauty. Nothing is stopping you but you. To wrap this talk up, which I'm calling a sense of place, I want to say the one thing that will ruin it for you is if you don't go out into nature. If you don't go out. And you know, you might be laughing because if you're listening to this YouTube, you probably love nature. But I bet a lot of you don't go out enough. You got to go out. If you feel the call, you got to go out. How do you feel the call? Is it a heart thumping pound? Is it a vision of a place? Is it just you're tired and you need to go out and sit by a tree and let the energy of the tree come into you and fill you up? Is that you got to jump in a lake or a creek or the ocean and let the prana from the water fill you up? Is it that you got to walk down a beautiful trail, you come to a fork, and you take the road less traveled, as the famous poem says, and on that trail you discover something that changes your life forever? It all is awaiting there for you, all the answers you ever need to live. But you have to go out and then understand what it is to have a sense of place. And that means going to the place over and over again. Thank you, everybody. I wish you the best. Send me some emails and let me know about your sense of places, your places you've been, places that call to you. Share them with me. I would love to hear. Hope.